الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله أجمعين محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد على آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. The message of Imam al-Hussain salawatullahi alayhi and Ashura, the stance that the Imam took in Karbala, is a universal stance, and it's something that can be described in simple terms, and it's something of a deep ocean of knowledge where you can gain so much depth of knowledge about everything from these events that happened at Karbala. In the most basic of terms, it is about the victory of truth over evil. It's an inconvenient victory. It's inconvenient for the authorities that be. It's inconvenient for the lovers of oppression. And this is why when we speak about the stance of the Imam, it really is a stance of jihad at the end of the day. It's about jihad. Unfortunately, in the environment and the political climate that we live in, words like jihad have been misconstrued. Words like haqq and truth have been misconstrued. And there is a plethora of disinformation regarding the truth, regarding Islam. Now the stance of Imam al-Hussain salawatullahi alayhi, and how can we export this stance? How can we teach this stance? The reality is, people in general, the majority of people like the truth. And you see this from many small things. For example, in recent history, we have a look at the Occupy protests, Occupy Wall Street, Occupy London, Sydney, all the rest of it. The whole debate about the disparity of economic viability. The fact that there was this huge disparity between the classes in terms of wealth. And when people heard about this, they wanted truth. They ran towards the truth. This is what they wanted. Now, maybe they didn't achieve what they wanted. But the point of the matter, when they hear about this, they love it. When people, for example, heard about Jeremy Corbyn gaining the position, everyone was happy. Wow, something's different. Something's going to change. They get happy. Because people want truth. People want justice. It's not that they don't want it. And this is the message of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam. But the difference is with the message of Imam al-Hussain, he physically shows that there is something more important than life itself. That death isn't the end. Whereas people look at, oh my God, death is the end. People get sold out with the smallest of items, something that's very important. And that is after the aftermath of what happened in Karbala, on the day of Ashura, some of the bodies of the soldiers of Umar ibn Sa'ad, all they found on them, other than their weapon, is a handful of dates from Ibn Ziyad. That was their pay. Go and fight against Imam Hussain, here's a handful of dates from the Amir. They sold everything for a handful of dates. The thing is, many of us, when it comes to the truth, that's what I think, oh my God, I can't stand up for this. Why? Because I'll lose my mortgage. And I can't afford this. But the Imam showed, you know what, this is not important. Didn't the Imam own lands in Medina? Not important. But he showed there's something above this. It's not about material wealth. Some of us, we stop and we say, but I have children. Who's going to look after, who's going to provide for my little ones once I'm gone? And the Imam took all these little ones with him. He said that even this, it's worth the haqq. It's worth the truth, we have to give this up. What about my women folk? And some of us don't even get that far. Already we stop and we say, oh, we can't stand up for this, even if it is the truth, and even if it is justice. And then Imam al-Hussain sallallahu alayhi, he takes his women folk, and he allows them to be taken prisoner after he is left. At the command of Allah, without a doubt. However, the Imam was showing that the stance for truth and haqq and justice, and to stand against oppression and tyranny, is that important. And this is something that's universal in humanity. Within our hearts, it's universal. We want the truth. Nobody wants to be lied to. We want the haqq. We want justice. Because the reality is, even though we live in a time where they focus on materialism. They make us focus on materialism. This capitalistic system that we live in, you know, it's like there's as they say, a dollar and a pound in the middle of the room. Let's see who gets it first. This is how it works. This is how the whole thing works. It all surrounds a monetary value. Everything is given a monetary value. Even a smile, a hello is given a monetary value. They call it customer service. So on and so forth. And so, when we go back and we look at this, and we speak about Imam al-Hussain, and the message of Imam al-Hussain, which is the message of Islam, at the end of the day, this is what it is. Ya waritha Adam, Ya waritha Nuh, Ya waritha Ibrahim, O inheritor of Adam, O inheritor of Noah, O inheritor of Ibrahim. It's the message of Allah that's carried on the shoulders of Abu Abdullah, the message of truth, the message of justice. That's one. Point number two, that obviously resonates with Muslim and non-Muslim alike. Point number two is apathy and indifference. You know, people that are multimillionaires, people that are billionaires. The other day I was reading about therapists for the rich. They still have problems. You can call them first world problems or 1% first world problems, but they have problems. And they want to speak about it. Why do they have these issues? Why, for example, is the bane of the developed world, like here in the United Kingdom and in Australia and in the United States of America and in the greatest European nations like Norway? Like Norway and the Scandinavian nations, the bane of their existence is youth suicide and mental depression. They have this mental depression. Why? The reason they have this depression is, even if I'm living the best of lives, just one look at a refugee camp of the people, for example, fleeing Syria, and I see the way that they live, Allahu Akbar. How can I be happy with my meal when these people don't have a meal? How can I be happy with my shelter? You know, and sit there and enjoy, I'm enjoying my family, but there's someone across the sea that also loves his family like I love my family, but they can't love their family, they can't even be near their family. They can't provide for their family. Some of them will never see their family again. For example, the message of Imam al-Hussain is to stand up for truth, is to destroy oppression, is to have hatred for oppression. Because you can't love justice unless you hate oppression. You can't love both. I can't say that I love oppression and I love justice. It's impossible. This is oxymoronic. This is insanity. The final thing, before we come to the close of the talk, and I don't want to take more time than was allocated, the Ahl al-Bayt say, كونوا دعاة لنا بغير ألسنة. Be a caller unto us with other than your tongue. This is so important. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and this is the message of Abu Abdullah. He lived amongst the people, and they began to know him as as-Sadiq al-Amin, which you know very well. The akhlaq of Rasulullah, that Rasulullah had the ability, they offered him, stop this message and we will make you a king over us. He continued the message and he became a king over them. However, they said to him, you're a king. He says, no, I'm abd. Rasulullah used to sit on the floor. And this is something he used to say, no matter how old I get, I will never stop sitting on the floor. I will never stop ifsha as-salam, that he says salam before others say salam to him. He says it first, always. In fact, there's stories where they used to hide and wait for the Prophet. They'd hide and he would know they're behind the tree and he would say salam before they could even come out. This is Rasulullah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who is awla minna bi anfusina, that he has more right over ourselves. And how did he used to speak? I sit here now and I'm raising my voice and I'm waving my hand. Rasulullah, who had this knowledge, who has more right over you, he used to ask the people, أَأُنَبِّئَكُمْ بِكَذَا? May I tell you about this? That's what he told them. He seeks permission before he even tells them what he wants to tell them. May I speak to you about this? This is the akhlaq of Rasulullah. This is what they learned about him. Rasulullah used to give sadaqah to the mushrikeen. Before he told them about Islam, he used to feed them. He used to give them even when he left Medina, because they kicked him out of Mecca. They wanted to kill him, they wanted to persecute him, and what did he do? He kept sending them food, and this is the actions of Rasulullah. This is what كُونُوا دُعَاةً لَنَا بِغَيْرِ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ is. Be a caller unto us without your tongue. This is what's important. When we mix with our brethren in the universities and in the lives that we lead, we need to watch our akhlaq. Let us be known for people with good manners, for our smile, for the fact that we don't swear. Others swear around us, we don't swear. Others lie, we don't lie. Others cheat, we don't cheat. They plagiarize, we don't plagiarize. And be known for that. Keep your word. These are the things that are important. This is what the Imam taught. This is what's important. What do we hate most about Ahlul Kufa? What they did to the Imam? They broke their word. They went against their word. They seem to be relatively small things. They told the Imam, come, we will support you, and they changed. The Imam wasn't like that. The Imam was the complete opposite. And you see this love coming from the actions of the Imam before we even speak about it. Before we even come and tell them that fi Jannah, fi Nar, there's heaven, there's hell, there's this and that. No. Do it through your akhlaq. And through this manner, the message of the Imam salawatullah alayhi to stand for truth will shine and beam through. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة وأهدى ثوابها إلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات واسبقها الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.